If you could just call out stop as I run through the cards right here. So 6 of diamonds in this case. This is as good a card as any. Who remembers the Roadrunner cartoons? You remember that? With the little Roadrunner, and he would be chased by Wile E. Coyote. And Wile E. Coyote would buy from the Acme Corporation a portable hole, and what that was like a black disc. And if you put it on the wall, he could reach his arm and the hole, but then he could peel it off and put it on the floor and jump into a hole on the floor. It was the Acme portable hole. I've got one of those and I'd like to show it to you now. It's in development specifically for playing cards. It's in this envelope. There it is, the portable hole for playing cards. Now, the idea is that it can slide and move and jump onto different cards, and in this case we'll get it to jump onto your selected card, the 6 of diamonds. So if you watch carefully, I'll just do this, and you see the hole jumps, and now it's on your 6 of diamonds. See, a moment ago, remember it was here, but it's jumped over now. Now ideally, I'd like to get it to move from here, but back onto here, but maybe do it in slow motion. So if you keep your eye on the hole, you'll see, if I just do this, see it start to slide across the card, just like so, like that. And then one final tug puts it back on the portable hole card. And that is Nothing in Transit 2.0. Hi, I'm Dave Forrest, and thank you for purchasing Nothing in Transit 2.0. The original Nothing in Transit was released over 15 years ago, which is scary to think about, but it was. And I released it at the Blackpool Magic Convention. I completely sold out. And then afterwards I went on to sell thousands of units worldwide. The new 2.0 version is a real 2.0 in that it has been updated and it has changed. The effect and the routine are all identical, but the gimmicks themselves have been redesigned to eradicate a small issue that would sometimes arise with the original gimmicks. Perhaps if you own the original, you'll know exactly what that difference is. But if not, don't worry, we'll look at it closely and we'll talk about the differences between the new one and the old one when we look at the gimmicks. So let's move on to that now, and we'll take a look at what you have received. Okay, so here is what you've received. Quite a few cards, it has to be said, so let's take a look at them. You'll notice I've already applied the little portable hole labels that come in the package. So this is where you stick them. Okay, this is where you would stick them. Incidentally, you don't have to use the portable hole stickers that are applied. You know, if you've got your own presentational ideas or whatever, feel free to do whatever you like, but you do need something, because it serves as a point of reference when this card purports to be this one, but now the hole is gone. You know, you don't just want to be shown a blank card at that point. It's not visual enough. There's no frame of reference that the hole's gone. You'll see what I mean later. Bottom line being, this is where you stick the labels if you want to use them, and if you don't, whatever you choose to use, you do really need to use something. I think the whole routine sort of relies on there being something there. So this first card here is just a blank-faced card. That's as simple as it gets. Red back, blank face, and I've placed the portable hole sticker on it right here. This one is the same thing, almost exactly, but you may have noticed an inch wide diameter hole in this end, and again, the portable hole sticker is here, okay? And this is what I mean, when this hole disappears from this card and I show them this one, I don't just want to show them a blank faced card. Like if this didn't have this on it, if I show them this and it says portable hole, but the hole's gone, that's stronger. That's a more visually, is it copacetic sort of visual, a copacetic visual? Am I making up phrases? Probably. Again, you'll see what I mean later. But that's what that is. Okay, so that you'll have received one of them. This one here is six of diamonds. This is a blank backed card. It looks like this one. The hole, by the way, in this is slightly bigger than this, and it's only very marginal, right? And you'll see why that is in a moment. But yeah, so that's a blank back card, and whichever card is on the back of that, you will have received a regular one to match. So in this case, it's six of diamonds, so you got a six of diamonds to match, okay? And finally, well, not finally, but in terms of the cards, we have this card here, which is double backed. And it's actually two cards glued face to face, and there are little magnets inside here. Two little magnets, in fact, and if you flip this little disc over, which is attached here magnetically, if you flip this over, you'll see that it also has two little magnets. So there are two little magnets inside this double card that line up with it, and that holds it in a very specific position, and you'll see how it all works in a moment. But if you own the original Nothing in Transit, these two little magnets are different from what you've received before, and that's kind of what makes it 2.0. The change from one large magnet to two little magnets that are flipped polar opposite. It makes everything so much better. I mean, it makes the illusion stronger, it gives you more freedom of movement during the illusion, and there's none of that rotational, that little rotational glitch that would sometimes happen during performance. So that's all eradicated thanks to this newly designed card and disc setup. And again, you'll see more about what I'm talking about there as we go on. You've also received an envelope, and inside that envelope is a piece of card, and that's just to give that envelope rigidity, because you're going to put this rubber band around it, like so, and if it wasn't for the cardboard, the envelope would just collapse in. So that's what that's for, okay? So that is what you've received. You're going to need your own deck of red bicycle cards to match the gimmicks, and you're going to want to get the six of diamonds from that deck in a position to force it. And that is what you have received. So here is how you set up to perform Nothing in Transit 2.0. The first thing you're going to do is take this card here. That is the blank backed card. And you're going to place it into the envelope when the hole goes in first, like that, so that when you pull it out, you see the words portable hole, and then the hole comes into view. We'll come back to this envelope in a moment. The next thing you're going to do is take the double card with the disc, take the disc off it, and now you'll see why this hole has been cut marginally larger. See, the hole in this card and this little disc, they were punched using a 1-inch punch, okay? This hole was cut by hand to be marginally larger, and here's why. Here's how you set it up. A magnet's at this end, so you place this card, which has the back design, in the slightly larger hole at this end. It's the magnet's there. Then this regular card that you've been supplied goes there, and then the disc goes on there. So let's just talk about this redesign and what it means for the moving hole illusion. So the old version had one large round disc magnet that was adhering to a second magnet that was in between the double thick card. And what would occasionally happen is when you move, this would spin. There would be a bit of movement in it. It wasn't all the time, and it could be combated by putting a little bit of upward pressure on this card as you moved forward. It was a little bit kind of too much handling, realistically, and as I say, it didn't happen all the time, but it was prone to happening occasionally, and that was enough of a sort of little glitch to just bother me. The new version, as you can see, thanks to the new design and placement of the magnets, means not only is there zero movement in the disc when you move the card, okay, like this, but you can also go sideways now, which you could never do before with the other version. If you tried to move sideways, it would definitely spin. The little disc would spin, and that would ruin the illusion. Now, as you can see, you can go forwards, side to side. You know, you've got just so much more freedom of movement with the cards. And then, of course, this is this little disc here is, because it's smaller than the hole in this card, this is what allows it to pop through there, and that's how you complete the illusion of the hole jumping onto the card. We'll cover this more in the presentation, but for now we'll just talk about setup. So it's double card with larger hole, regular card, the magnetic disc goes on there. Now finally is this card here, and this goes this way, right? So the words portable hole, you're going to drop this with a hole at this end, and the words portable hole at this end, that goes on there like that. Turn all of this over so it's face down. Place underneath this envelope, and then put this band around here like that. Okay, so here's your half moon cut out in the envelope, and the whole part on the gimmick is facing away, so that the whole part is down there. That goes in a pocket. Now, all you need to do is get the 6 of diamonds from your regular pack in a position to force it, whichever, I like it on the bottom, but whatever force you want to use, you're going to force this 6 of diamonds, so it needs to be in position to force, and that's it. You're set up to perform Nothing in Transit 2.0. So let's take a look at the handling. So to begin, you're going to force the 6 of diamonds. In my case, the 6 of diamonds, because that's what's on the gimmicks that I have here. A Hindu shuffle force, whichever you choose will be fine. They say stop, and you say fine, we've got the 6 of diamonds. Any force will do. You know, insert your favourite force here. Place it face down on the table, right? Show them that it's the 6, but then turn it face down. Now you're going to keep the deck in your hand, and you're going to retrieve the little envelope from wherever it may be. The half moon cutout is towards you. That means that on the underside, the hole is away from you, furthest away from you. I'm going to place it here. Take the band off, then lift up and take out the portable hole card and drop it directly onto the card so that they can see. This, you can kind of show this on both sides and put it down. It's not important, but obviously what that has done rather is added the little stack of gimmicks from underneath onto the top of the pack. So that stack of gimmicks is now here on top of the pack. Now it's very important throughout the whole routine that they see this image as much as possible, right? I'm just going to talk about that. This image here is the crux of the whole thing and what makes it work. When the hole eventually moves in slow motion, this is what they're going to see moving, this little disc. So you can do a bit of this maybe and sort of suggest movement already. The bottom line is, that's why you've turned this face down. They've got to see what it looks like when a hole in a card is placed on the back design of another card. That's integral to the whole effect landing where it should. So this is what I do. Maybe just do a bit of this and suggest, yeah, it's portable hole. And I talk about the Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote and the portable hole, which may or may not suit you. I don't mind, come up with your own stuff, of course, but for me, that's a fairly universal idea, a universal image that people of all walks of life can relate to, and it's a good point of reference because it's such an abstract idea. You know, holes don't really move. It's like, what do you mean moving hole? But if you mention that cartoon, they know exactly what you mean by a portable hole. That's why I use it. I'm not wildly into cartoons or anything. I just want something that drives home the idea of a moving hole so that they oh, I know what you mean, the Acme portable hole that moves from place to place. Like I say, fill in your own blanks here, but for me this works. Anyway, I want them to see this, the words portable hole and this little disc of red here, because that's what they're going to see when it starts to move. So we're in this position, and what I'm going to do is turn the whole thing end for end, then turn their selection over, and when it comes together like this, now what I'm going to do is take a little break under this top card. Okay, that's that card. Okay, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the top card and my fingertips here, and the bottom card's going to come away in these fingertips, and you're going to split them and turn them over at the same time. And this is the finishing position of that. Okay, so they're looking at this, and you're going to take the top card away with the deck hand, the lower card away with the right hand, and turn them both over, and you get the illusion of the card jumping. This is Paul Harris's Las Vegas split, and he used it to split like a 2 into 2 aces or something, if I remember correctly. Same actions, but here used to make the hole jump from the portable hole card onto their selected card. Now immediately, thanks to this break that I've got, I let it go there during the explanation, but I've got this break still, so let's go back. I'll just show you that. So we're here. I've got a little break here. I go bump and it jumps instantly. Push this one over. Flick this. See, now it's on your selection is what I would say. Place it here. Pick up all 3 cards and show them. Remember, it was here a moment ago. And you see now that I'm saying that you must have something written on here. Because if you don't, and at this point you just show a blank card, there's no point of reference as to where the hole used to be. So I use the portable hole stickers, like I said earlier. You can use whatever suits you. But it's important that something be there for this point here where they need some frame of reference. Oh, I saw the hole there a minute ago and now it's gone, right? So that's that, like this. Now what I'm going to do is get a break under this block. Now, it's easy. It's very easy to do. And all I tend to do is just that. I know I've got a pinky break on it. Because it's a block, it's very easy to get a break under it. So get a break under that block while you show this. Now I'm going to turn this face down and say I want to move this hole back to here, but I want to move it in slow motion. And now I'm going to turn that whole block over and the fake hole comes into view. This is now the magnetic disc. But because they've become accustomed now to that being what it looks like when you look through a hole in a playing card, and it's exactly the other side of what you just showed them, everyone assumes that they're looking at what they were looking at a moment before, which is a hole in the 6 of diamonds, which is showing through to the back design underneath. Of course, it's not, it's your gimmicks. So when this hole begins to move, it's a big moment. And now it is just a matter of lifting up on that card, and when you push forward, you're going to get this movement. Now, at this point, you can go this way or that way or whichever way you like. And some of you may have noticed the discrepancy in the routine here, right? That card, by all rights, shouldn't be that facing up the way like that. It should be the other way around. No one would notice that anyway. Particularly, they're not going to notice when the hole in the card starts sliding across their selection. The fact that the card under it has suddenly flipped over is missed by everyone, so don't ever worry about it. So here we go with the gimmicks. They start doing the thing. You can go as slow as you like. I used to sort of do this action here to kind of get it to you know, just a little bit of movement in it, and you get the nice illusion of the card sliding across the card. And of course, this portable hole card comes into view. Thanks to the new gimmicks, you can go forward, and if you wanted to, you can go to the side. You know, you can sort of do some crazy things, whatever it is you want to do. The point is now, there's no movement in that disc like you would occasionally get with the old versions, so you're free to sort of do whatever you like. Bottom line being, when you get to this point, put your thumb on it. I always put my thumb on it. You don't have to. You could just go like this, right, and then lift that off. I don't like that. I like to keep my thumb on it as if I'm sort of pulling it with my thumb onto the other card. So that would be, I get it to here, maybe go sideways a bit, maybe go forward here, and then finally do this and immediately lift that card off. And you see there that the little disc passes through. My thumb there can be used as some form of cover. This can be examined, as can this. And that completes Nothing in Transit 2.0. I hope you like it. Let's talk very quickly about resetting this, because you can actually just reset it really quickly. I know it seems like it's going to be a terrible nightmare, but it's really not. Let's just quickly run through the routine. Here's the card. Here's your gimmicks. This goes here. That comes off. This comes out. This goes down. This gets turned end for end. This goes this way. Take a break under this card. Las Vegas split to cause it to jump. I've got a break under 2 here. Indicate that hole and show them that it's gone. Take a break under that block now. Say I want to get this hole to move back to here, but I want it in slow motion. Flip the whole block over, make the hole slide, and eventually cause it to jump back onto the card. So this is your finishing position. And to reset, you simply pick these two up like this, push over the little disc with your thumb, it goes underneath. That block is now back like that. That's going back in the envelope. That one goes back in the envelope. This one is the regular 6, and this one here, you're going to turn that card over. Okay, like this. Now that goes underneath there. This card goes in there. And the elastic band goes back round, and the whole thing's reset. So it becomes second nature. After you do it a few times, you'll see that it's really, you know, you can gather up cards, and as you walk, moving from table to table, you can reset it really quickly. You'll soon get to know where everything is, and you'll do it second nature. It's worth pointing out that the reset is quite straightforward. If you just kind of follow those steps, and you'll eventually know where everything is. You'll do it without thinking, because what seems like is like, how am I going to reset that? As you can see, it only takes seconds, and you can't do it in front of people. It's not instant reset by any means, but it can be reset quite quickly, so worth keeping that in mind. Okay, so thanks once again for purchasing Nothing in Transit 2.0. If you are familiar with the original from 15 plus years ago, I hope you'll agree that the little change to the gimmicks has made a massive difference to the overall handling, smoothness of execution, and the illusion in general. I think is made so much better by such a minor change to the gimmicks. Those gimmicks being absolutely locked in place. It's a game changer. I really think this is a better version. If you're not familiar with the original, lucky you. You got in the game at the right time. I really think it's a great illusion. I do hope you perform it. You need to see what lay people's reactions to this is. I performed it myself many, many times close up. I've done it in lectures. I performed it at the Magic Castle when I done close up there. The first time I was there, that was. And you know, I closed my close-up set with it because it's so strong. It's such a nice visual piece of magic, and I hope that you have. I hope you find that that's the case in your own performances. Thanks once again, and I'll see you next time.